Magruder giving John Gosling his first Oaks winner, that was fantastic. It was decisive, no argument. You can't say, oh, she was lucky or anything. She was very, very good.
Well, I'm currently standing just outside Racecourse stables here at Epsom Downs, and I'm about to go inside to meet a gentleman by the name of Ken McPeek, and he is an American trainer that has been very actively instrumental in taking the gospel of horse racing around the world with an incredible app, which we shall find out about in due course. But the main reason that he's here is because he's got a beautiful filly called Daddys Lil Darling, who'll be participating in the Investec Oaks on Friday. It'll be the first American filly ever to run in the Investec Oaks. She's multiple Group 1 placed, and she's a beautiful filly. Let's go and take a look and find out what Ken's reasoning was to bring her on this rather brave and bold move to come and participate in the Investec Oaks here on Epsom Downs.
Well, we've got a really nice filly on our hands, and she's been second in 3 Grade 1s, or Group 1s as they say elsewhere. And we want to win a Grade 1 with her, and we were fortunate enough to kind of think that, well, let's do the early nomination and let's see how the timing came together. And she was doing extremely well coming out of the Kentucky Oaks, and I had a few options. It was wait for the Alabama in August or give her a try over here, and here she is. She's doing good too.
It's incredibly brave to think of going from the dirt surface that you're familiar with the daughter of Scat Daddy, who's of course by Johannesburg, to come to the grass of Epsom. Probably more trickier course you couldn't find, but that's the very nature of what Ken McPeek's all about.
Well, I don't see it being brave. I think a good horse doesn't need to take a course with him. I don't think that, I think a good horse can handle about any surface. She's a filly that I think is going to relish the 1.5 miles. When she was young, we have a breaking system at my farm in Lexington where we do our own gallops. We have a turf course where we can go right-handed and left-handed, uphill, downhill. And she is very experienced at it, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think it's going to be a matter of whether she's good enough in this high-class company, and I'm pretty confident she will be. We've been able to participate in some racing at Ascot, but I really didn't have the proper horse to bring to Epsom. And obviously, anytime you can be competitive in a classic like this, I think it's great. But good horses handle it, and she goes out there and she relaxes extremely well on the grass gallops, and I think this is going to be right up her alley.
I have to say that I think it's very, very creative, and obviously you've analysed exactly what the value of the race is, not only from the monetary perspective, but for her stud career.
The woman that owns her also owns her mother and her sister, and so the pedigree, when you can get the Group 1 Grade 1, that's really what we're after. International racing is getting a little bit easier to do as well. You've got people like the British Horse Racing Authority who's encouraging it. You've got Adrian Beaumont who helps us with logistics. You've got IRT, the company that does the shipping. So a lot of that makes it's a lot simpler. Wesley Ward has been at the forefront of it all. Wesley and I go way back. I actually helped Wesley in his first few steps coming over too. But it's something that, and I've said it, Americans need to come this direction more because the Europeans come our direction all the time. And it just needs to be more of a habit as opposed to it being considered special.
Well, Ken McPeek as a racehorse trainer is one thing, but you're also very, very actively involved in communication. You've been very innovative in that direction.
Yeah, I believe that racing needs to do a better job connecting to the masses. I think we've got a sport that, everybody has a short attention span nowadays. To watch something on your phone in a 2 or a 3 or a 4 minute span's pretty easy nowadays. And I think horse racing's perfect for all that. I don't think you could watch a soccer match, or as you might call football, or even a baseball game or a basketball game. You'd go blind watching it on your phone. But to watch a horse race, to actually wager on it, watch it, put your phone back in your pocket, and go back to doing what you're doing, I think is ideal in this time, in this day and age. So I created the app Horse Races Now for some of you that may or may not know of it. And Horse Races Now, we're getting 10,000 new users every 30 days, and it's grown virally. And then we try to communicate with our users, a lot of things going on in the game. And I think our filly's going to go falling asleep on us here in my hand.
Well, that was the very, very next question I was going to ask you, because I've seen her trotting around behind the hotel. We've seen her go into the parade ring, obviously, where she was a little bit wired up and then she relaxed, and that's the way she is. But she's got the most beautiful temperament. She's
really great in the stall, but when you put the bit in her mouth, it's game on. So she makes us work a little bit when she's got the bit in her mouth. But she's all class. This filly's got just a wonderful to be around and very easy. And as you can see, she's quite relaxed. Now she's waiting for their feed time.
And finally, you've got one of the finest jockeys that the world has ever seen in Olivier Peslier. Lovely to see him in the irons. What gave rise to that?
He came over on Friday to get on her, and that was good. But you know, I did not think bringing an American jockey for this race over this course was a smart idea, because it's so unusual, and how the first run up to the hill, then you've got the big turn, then you've got Tatnam Corner, and then you've got the angle that they have to proceed down the stretch. So you really need a jockey that understands where to be and when to be there. I did some scouting out on my choices, and there were a lot of good choices. But Julian Leperoux rode her in the Kentucky Oaks, where she was second, and I felt like a similar riding style would be good. And then, you know, Olivier came open, and so we booked them out. And he came over, he loved her on Friday, had a really good canter with her, and I think we're all lined up.
Line abreast, they race the line. Tullius! The old boy might just have lifted the diamond.